Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the... Where are we? Is this the Hungry Ring? The Hungry Hippo Ring? Oh, no, this is Scrotum America.
Yeah. I thought you would realize that from the Real Cheese People sign.
Well, I missed that, but I usually try and read the title cards now up at the top. Even in death, I am Alfarius, and with me is noted Carpathian ornithologist Miodred Milosevic.
I mean, I was going to go a completely different route with this intro. I was going to talk about how this property looks very impressive, very large.
My property? It doesn't have the cul-de-sac, though. I mean,
there's probably a cul-de-sac somewhere here.
Does the pit lane count as a cul-de-sac?
Yeah, there's a cul-de-sac between the pit lane and the racetrack.
There you go. Everybody go out and buy yourself a Henry rifle, goddammit. I'd love to do that.
This is the Road America race, multi-class race, round number 4. So we got Daytona Prototypes and GT4s. Once again, there is a Daytona Prototype on your screen right now, driven by Richard DeRoche, currently in 4th place. And looking like he might improve here with a decent 3rd sector. He did improve, but not enough to actually move up on the grid. And here's an example of GT4 technology driven by Louis Peugeot. I think that's his name anyways.
Yeah, Peugeot sounds good to me.
Till I am corrected, it is Peugeot.
Luis Paella Peugeot.
There is a look at what the grid looks like, although there is still a little bit of time left here. Caleb Gonzalez, Dan Bach, Martin Edmonds, your top 3 in prototypes, and in the GT4 field it is Liam Curtin, Tony Santa Clara, and Zifo Duran.
Correct. Just in time for the Santa Clara wine mixer.
Is that a thing? Is that an actual thing?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I bastardized that from Step Brothers.
A hearty welcome to Ryan Reed, who is doing his 2nd race with us. Hopefully it goes better than the first one, because his first one at Imola didn't go so well.
Did he get immolated?
He did not get immolated, but he did end up, I think, hitting a wall and retiring.
That's usually what I like to see.
And we're always happy to have more people here at the property.
Man, that was the best in the world. If anybody would like to be in on the joke, I will provide you with a link to watch a show called Talkin' Shopomania. And it is the most ridiculous insider kind of wrestling thing in the world.
It really is. It was very amusing. But we got 1 hour Road America now. We ride on board with Richard DeRoche here to start the race. Richard, by the way, signed up for the 2 hours of Paul Ricard, and here we go.
Oh boy.
He would be partnering Dave Nelson.
Dave Babyface Nelson.
Probably not babyface. I think he's an older guy.
Well, there you go. The original Babyface didn't live to be old enough.
True. Caleb Gonzalez has retained the lead here off the start, and you can see how far the prototypes have already pulled away from the GT4s. It is ridiculous. Mine is like having hiccups. Is yours having hiccups?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it is the video that is having hiccups. Okay. Martin Edmonds going down the inside of Richard DeRoche, or defending against Richard DeRoche, who's trying to go around the outside, actually, I guess. So apologies if any of the audio ends up desynced from the video. We can only work with what was uploaded, and what was uploaded appears to not be super great.
Well, I mean, it's working fine up until the point where it doesn't.
So in the lead, it is still Caleb Gonzalez by a 2nd over Dan Bach. And after Bach, it is Martin Edmonds and Richard DeRoche. Leading the GT4 field, it is Tony Santa Clara and Liam and Zifo Duran, who both appear to have gotten the jump on Liam Curtin. Guido De Palma and Sergio Mengual rounding off the top 5. As we head to Canada Corner, Byron. It's Canada Corner.
Oh my God. Where is that located on the property?
It is the northern point of the property.
That makes all the sense in the world,
The
actually.
one closest to the Canadian border. Ah!
Does it actually cross the Canadian border? Because
It
that would
does
be
not.
great.
It does not.
Technically an international race. Do you think he shortened his name? You think it was Sifo Duran Duran?
Possibly. I mean, he could be hungry like the wolf.
Indeed.
Or he could be a wild boy.
It could be a nature photographer, and then you could start singing squirrels on film.
Mm. Could also be falling down. At this point, I'm out of Duran Duran.
Let's see. We did Hungry Like the Wolf, Girls on Film, Wild Boys. I think that's it.
I had Falling Down was another one, but that's about it.
I think they had like 4 or 5 like really big hits, and I don't remember the other 2.
I don't dislike Duran Duran, for the record. Like I've never heard a Duran Duran song that I actually didn't, have a little little toe tap to. But at the same time, there's no like fandom. I think my dad had their albums. My dad had everything. Is the rule when it comes to music.
What if they started doing themes for boxers, and then they could be Roberto Duran Duran Duran?
Sean Kenny looking for a move there on Max Simmons, but nothing happening there. That is a battle for, I was going to say top American honors, but I forgot Dan Bach is in second place and is top American.
Top men.
Top men. So there's
I'm looking at Duran Duran's Wikipedia page now. Rio.
Rio. Forgot Rio.
Save a Prayer doesn't sound familiar to me.
Can't say that I'm familiar with it. Probably heard it at some point, but
they re-released it years later, apparently, as the U.S. single version. Theme song from View to a Kill. There you go.
Oh, okay.
I think that's about it.
I mean, it's not bad, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
So Dan Bach is leading the Canadian battle between Martin Edmonds and Richard Drosha here for second place, but Caleb Gonzalez is kind of checking out at the front. Which, to be honest, knowing Caleb is not that surprising.
I'm surprised.
Martin Edmonds going down the inside of Dan Bach, and I got a massive freeze there. That was lovely, and Martin Edmonds got the position.
This is, at points, slowly devolving into stop motion.
A little bit. We appear to have lost Bertrand Barrier, one of the prototypes from the race. He is shown in 21st position, 1 lap down. That makes me think that he has exited. No, I don't recall the reasoning. Could be any number of things. Technical issue, wife aggro. I feel like wife aggro probably is an underreported cause of RTNFs.
That does sound like a thing. What about pet interference?
We had that at least once. I remember somebody had the dog decided it wanted to sit on the pedals, and there wasn't a discussion on the matter.
You are going to hit the brake and the gas at the same time, and you have no choice.
I fortunately am immune to these things.
I mean, we can get you a parrot.
Not a bird person.
You seriously wouldn't be a bird person after it chews through all your cables.
Yeah, probably. No, probably not. I did have a cable get chewed through once. I don't actually know which pet did it, so I can't point the finger. There were 2 cats at the time, a dog, and 2 rodents. I think I could probably say the rodents didn't do it.
It's probably your brother.
Could also be either brother, yes. So Martin has slipped down to 4th place after having initially taken 2nd place off of Dan Bach, but he's gotten repassed by Bach and now also passed by Richard Roche, so he's down to 4th place. Kobayashi's up to 5th, good on him. Simmons, Kenny, Barker, Giordano, Hutchison, that's your prototypes. And then in the GT4 category, it is Curtin, Santa Clara, De Palma is up to 3rd place. Duran's back to 4th, Butler 5th, then Mengual, Magus, Peugeot, Perez Torres, and Reed. We've seen like nothing of the GT battle so far. It has been all prototypes.
Well, perhaps if they had a GT prototype, then we'd be talking about something.
Which of the prototype liveries do you enjoy the most, Byron? The SunTrust, the black one, the Gainsco, the other red one, for lack of a better way of determining it?
I mean, the red one does have more DACA.
It does. Well, technically the Gainsco one has the most DACA because it's all red.
Correct.
I don't know if anyone's running it, so I'll point it out if it pops up on screen. James Butler on the tail of Sergio Mengual, battle of Porsche versus Lotus. The Lotuses are doing pretty well in first and fourth place, although Peugeot is a little bit further back in seventh. We have lost somebody else. Because we're down to 9 GTs. I just listed off 10 before. You go back in time. Oh, it's De Palma. We've lost Guido De Palma.
No, Guido.
He was running in third place. So that's actually a big deal. That, I believe, was an internet problem failure. Guido, unfortunately, is Argentinian, and his internet tends to not be the most stable thing on the planet.
I can dig it.
That is unfortunately the downside when you're dealing with intercontinental races. Where's Chris Jericho when we need him? This is Intercontinental. Although, I mean, he doesn't have the most Intercontinental reigns anymore. That belongs to someone that you and I both really do not like.
Yeah, and they did that on purpose, just because he left the company.
Oh, they would have done it anyways with The Miz, let's be honest.
They don't have anything else for him to do. Like, be good at anything.
His run in the main event was utterly terrible.
Basically everything he does is utterly terrible. That's just my opinion. Apparently a lot of people like him, though.
I enjoyed him in a tag team, because then you got his mic skills without having to rely on him as a worker.
That's fair. I mean, I did catch the very tail end of his work with Damien Sandow, and didn't quite understand what was going on, but then still enjoyed Sandow being Sandow.
Indeed. And I enjoyed the Miz's part in that as well. His tag team with Morrison was also quite good. But as I said, I think as a tag team specialist, the Miz is fine because it hides his significant weaknesses and maximizes his strengths.
Excellent.
And wrestling at the end of the day, as said by one Paul Heyman, is about maximizing strengths and minimizing weaknesses.
Correct.
It's like, for example, I find Enzo Amore to be absolutely horrifying in the ring, and I don't want to see him wrestle. But as a manager, I am down.
Yep.
Man, he is not lying when he says he has the gift of gab.
Correct. I've never heard that guy open his mouth even once and not be totally gold until he started doing rap albums. That was trash.
Sergio Mengual trying to overtake James Boutelier, although actually I think this is a repass because I think Butler's gotten past him at some point because he was in fourth place and now Butler is in fourth. The only thing about Enzo is apparently, according to some shoot interviews, he actually has no improvisational skills. Like it's all memory, which is
really
a bit weird.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought they could just do whatever, whenever, because he was just like that.
No. Apparently, now mind you, these shoot interviews have all been from people who don't like Enzo, so grain of salt. But there has been a pretty common thread in them of dude has to write everything down.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I often improv the fucking intro today. I can do the improv, but it does not always work. The rule with improv is 90% of it is garbage. So I don't blame him for writing stuff down and wanting to have things done. But if you can't do it at all, that's a problem for public performance.
Mm-hmm. It hasn't gotten in the way yet, so I mean, if true, it hasn't held him back.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing holding Enzo back is Enzo. As the prototypes are zipping through some GT traffic here on their first round through the field, and Butler and Mengual are still throwing down there for that fourth place position. It's a tight battle there. Michael Magus is tagging just onto the end of it, although not really over. Oh, somebody off.
It's not me.
It's one of the black prototypes. That's Dan Bach. Dan Bach is tumbling through the order.
Damn, Daniel.
Wonder what happened there.
Squirrel.
It actually occurred near me, and I still don't have I still don't have an answer for what happens.
Squirrel on the track. Slipped on a squirrel.
Could be. Oh, Mengual going very wide there. He's lost the plot. And is going to lose his spot.
You can't just say people are wide anymore. It's not nice.
And loses his spot to Michael Magus. Well, I'm calling the track wide, technically. The driving line wide, not the person.
It can't help the shape that it's... They built it that way, man.
They did build it that way. This is very true.
He's like, look at a good fat track. Whoa, hey, listen. Have yourself a Sargento.
Whoa.
Calm
See,
down.
you're assuming that when I say wide, I mean a bad thing. A wide track is a good thing. A track being too narrow allows for no actual racing.
I need all tracks to be exactly 7 feet wide from now on.
Oh god, that would be terrible.
You get the first corner to make any moves, and that's it.
Pretty much. Supposedly we were watching Richard DeRoche there, but I couldn't see him, so I don't even know what we were looking at. Butler, Magus, Mengual, Pijotto, and Javi Perez Torres of the GTs fighting here, as well as some traffic coming through. That is definitely not Richard DeRoche, regardless of what the overlay keeps telling you. I think that's Martin Edmonds, actually. No, it's not Martin Edmonds, because it's the wrong spot. Man, who is that? It's got to be John Barker and Wayne Hutchison, actually, lining up the liveries.
I think it's probably D.B. Cooper.
Could be D.B. Cooper. He could be out in these woods.
He out here.
Out here in the fields.
I stole a couple mil. I don't know how much you got away with, like $100,000 or something.
I believe it was 250 grand, actually. Which in those days was a lot of money.
Back in my day, you'd spend a nickel to buy 17 cars.
I suppose it still is a lot of money depending on where you are. I mean, you can still buy a house in, like, Kentucky for that.
Mm-hmm. Buy me half a trailer park.
Whereas a house up here, yeah, no, you're looking at $1 million, my friend.
$1 million, and then there's $2 million for all the chemical waste you got to clean up.
Ugh. I told you what my childhood home sold for, right?
No.
1.8 mil.
Ooh, damn, son.
We bought it for $245K.
Yep.
And sold it for, I want to say, like $320. So
should have rolled that up a little bit further.
Well, I mean, such is the inflation of recent years when it comes to housing. And of course, wages have not gone up the same level. Here I am talking about the economy. Well, we got a race going on. We do have the, you can see the mandatory pit stop sign has appeared, and we shall be seeing those probably in about 10 minutes or so. I'd imagine we'll start seeing some pit stops. Caleb Gonzalez still leading from Richard DeRoche in second. This is not Richard DeRoche. I don't know why it's claiming it is. This is Sergio Mengual.
I like how you pivoted from the economy talk to the fuel economy talk.
That's what we call improv. Take notes, Enzo.
Ha-cha-cha.
So it's Gonzalez, DeRoche, Edmonds, Kobayashi, Simmons, Kenny. Dan Bach has got to be considered the danger man. He's maybe the one that might want to take a roll of the dice with the pit stop strategy because he is stuck behind Sean Kenny right now. By the way, that is the red car I was talking about before, the Gainesco car, driven there by Sean Kenny.
Very nice.
What is the frequency, Sean? And Marcelo Giordano, Wayne Hutchison, and John Barker still running for the prototypes. We are down to, I think, 8 GTs because I think we've lost Ryan Reed. But Liam Curtin leads from Tony Santa Clara, Zifo Duran, James Butler, Michael Magus, Sergio Mengual, Luis Pajotto, and Javier Perez Torres.
Get him, Javi.
Go, Javi, go. Javi. Javi just realized, like 2 races ago in ACC, that he has a cheering section. It's just terrible. Javi, we love you, Javi. Accept the love. Accept it.
We have officially adopted him as a Southern Canadian.
Yes. And of course, he will be partnering with Mike Stopmill in the upcoming 2 hours of Paul Ricard.
Needs to be at least 17 hours long.
Oh boy, that'd be a thing. I did finally get my cushion for my sim rig, so I can actually sit for longer periods of time than I previously have been able to. So that's nice.
What is nice?
It's still. I wouldn't want to try 17 hours though.
I mean, how else are you gonna know?
Oh, I think I can make an educated guess. Richard DeRoche on the tail of Caleb Gonzalez. So we thought it looked like Caleb was going to run away with this in the early stages, and that has not been the case. Which, no offense, Caleb, is fortunate. I like seeing a battle for the win, and we haven't seen Richard DeRoche in the fight for the win in a little bit, hot minute, and it's good to see him all over the back end of the Caleb Gonzalez. Martin Edmonds still rounding off the podium, and it is Curtin, Santa Clara, and Duran in the GT class. So we'll see if Richard DeRoche can get anything done here. You can see Martin Edmonds is in the back shot there in the orange SunTrust car that pops into view every so often. And in the meantime, Sean Kenny is still holding off Dan Bach. So Sean Kenny putting up the defensive effort here.
Pull a brakey, put him in the wall.
Dan Bach looking for a way past and yet to find it as they head into the carousel.
Carousel, or as I like to call him, the horse tornado.
Who you got in this weekend's card there, Byron? Are you a Cormier man or a Miocic fan?
Hickson by armbar.
Hickson by armbar is always the pick.
I think Cormier's got what it takes to get the job done. It's just that he sometimes doesn't get the job done. That's kind of the whole deal.
I mean, the problem for Cormier is, Stipe, very, very powerful, and it really just comes down to, I think, the power of Stipe. We've seen Cormier win both the fights that they were in while it was going, and then in the second one, he just got knocked out.
Yeah, he utilized a lot less head movement, I believe, in the second fight. Kind of got a little cocky.
We'll see. I'm very intrigued by the fight. It's the only really interesting fight at heavyweight right now because, unfortunately, when you think about it, the other three guys who might be viable title contenders, Derek Lewis, Francis Ngannou, and Curtis Blades, well, only one of those has the wrestling chops to fight either Cormier or Miocic. And the problem is his offense is like all wrestling, so I just think he gets shut down.
These are very possible things.
So Dan Bach is all over the back end of Sean Kenny here, who in turn is all over the back end of Max Simmons. So we got a pretty good fight going here for the honor of America, gentlemen. Oh, Dan Bach spun around again.
I was gonna say, do they have that down there?
They definitely take pride and honor in America. It's just debatable whether the rest of the world accepts that. Their political system just absolutely confuses me at this point.
I think they just pick ping pong balls out of a hat.
Like
Isn't that how they do that?
I come off as like the biggest Biden supporter while being not a Biden supporter. It's terrible. It's because if you want to pick at Biden, go the fuck ahead. There's plenty to work with. Just actually use stuff that's true. Like, God damn it, people.
I agree.
I asked a friend of mine who lives in Norway to read the Biden campaign, the platform, what he stands for, essentially. And I asked him, so what is that to you? He's like, from centrist to like right wing noise. I'm like, they call that socialism. He's like, I am offended. Here's the battle for the lead, coming up to some traffic. Javier Perez Torres and Luis Pajotto fighting for position, and they allow... oh! Javier's gotten an opportunity because of that wide move by Pajotto, and he's through. Javi P up in his 7th place. By the way, the first of our pit stoppers, not terribly surprising because he's probably flat spotted the tires. Martin Evans has been into the pits.
Well done.
Martin, for those who are unaware, has a huge problem with maintaining his tires in these prototypes. And to be honest, cars kind of in general, but specifically the prototypes, he has a tendency to flat spot them. Richard DeRoche is all over Dan Bach as they're coming up to James Butler here. Look like the traffic did him a little bit of a favor on that last pass through. But no serious attack yet from the Wayland prototype.
Waylon Jennings?
I was gonna say Wayland Yutani. I think it's actually Wellen, is how it's pronounced, I believe. Not sure. Anyways, Sergio Mengual up on the tail of Michael Magus as possibly Max Simmons? Max Simmons and Kobayashi, I believe, going through. And Sean Kenny wants to get through before that first turn. Let's see if he can do it. These prototypes are really, really fast. There he goes.
He go.
I think he did make it through. As they lap Zifo Duran there. He's in 3rd place. And next up for them will be Tony Santa Clara, who has a very neat livery. I do like that livery he's got there. And they'll come up to the GT leader, Liam Curtin, who is looking for his 3rd consecutive win in this series because he took both races at Imola. And there is Mr. Curtin in the red, gold, and black Lotus. Very nice looking car, very sharp.
I mean, it's no Gulf oil.
That's true. It also has a Union Jack on the top, which seems inappropriate for an Irish driver.
That is a little odd.
As the pressure continues on race leader Caleb Gonzalez, Max Simmons is up to 3rd, apparently. No, that's 4th. He's trailing Kobayashi through the traffic here. Oh, Sean Kenny got physical with one of the GTs. I believe that was a penalty for Zifo Duran, if I'm not mistaken.
Flying headbutt. 2 yards. Second down.
It's more like a flying shoulder barge. Wayne Hutchison has made his pit stop, which is actually a little bit surprising. Wayne is historically a deep runner in these pit stop races.
Deep.
And has decided to go fairly early this time around. We'll see if he can make some progress up with some fresh rubber on the road. Max Simmons still battling with Kobayashi for the podium spot. They have lost Sean Kenny because of the contact. Dan Bach is now in 5th place. And then it's Marcelo Giordano in 6th. I think I can also safely say my earlier note that Ryan Reed was out of the race. Probably accurate. He's now down 6 laps.
Perhaps he did not read the amount of laps he was supposed to do.
Not impossible, but somewhat unlikely. So DeRoche, there's a little bit of breathing room now. So Caleb's opened up a little bit of a gap. as they head to Kettle Bottoms. And Max Simmons is looking to get a little bit more pressure on the Japanese driver, Fumihiro Kobayashi. We need to have like many Kobayashi jokes for him. Now that we actually have a racer named Kobayashi, I mean this is a thing that we must do.
Well, I've been making Kobayashi Maru jokes for a while. Nobody's paying attention.
Yeah, I was thinking more the wrestler Kobayashi. Kenta Kobayashi.
I mean, that's Kobashi, not Kobayashi.
Pardon me, Kobashi. Yes, you're right. I got overly hopeful.
Goddamn kids, you just think all the Asians are all the same with the K names, like Caleb?
This is not true. I know my boy Katsuyori Shibata.
That is also true. The inventor of the Shibata bun.
Of course, one of the more famous Japanese race car drivers, Kamui Kobayashi. So, that gives me... Oh, Max Simmons! Wrong turn to Albuquerque, Mr. Simmons. A couple more pit stops have occurred. Sean Kenny's been in, John Barker's been in, and in the GT category, Mike Magus and Luis Pijotto have made their pit stops. Still a little bit over halfway to go in this race.
Well, I mean, if they drove faster, they'd all be over.
No, it's a timed race, so that doesn't work.
No, you just need to go fast. Well, no, actually, if you go faster, then it'd take longer because time dilation.
Mm-hmm.
Science!
Science! Richard Durocher chases Caleb Gonzalez through Canada corner, and still in the hunt, but he's dropping back. It seems down to about 1.4, about 1.5 seconds behind. So he will need to speed it up a little bit. No pressure from behind right now, unless Martin Edmonds is putting up some astounding lap times, and it doesn't really look like he is, just looking at the gap. Sean Kenny has really come off the bat of this, though. He's behind Wayne Hutchison, and they both have pitted. So the top 5 prospects that Sean Kenny had are not looking good now.
It's because if you ain't Hutch, you ain't much. Feel free to put that on your business cards there, Wayne.
It's a solid motto. Helicopter cam taking us through the property.
As you can see, there's many foliages.
There's got to be a pond around here somewhere.
One would assume.
Although that was not on the property.
Apparently not. You gotta pay extra for that.
Sean Kenny working his way through traffic. That is Javier Perez Torres staying out of his way.
Come on, Javi, put him in the wall.
And he is trying to catch up to Wayne Hutchison. Dan Bach is once again kept catching up to Kobayashi to try to get that last podium spot, but it's been an interesting day for him. We have pit stop from the leaders, Caleb Gonzalez and Richard Durocher in the pits. So nobody trying to take a pit stop advantage between these two. They are going to just pit on the same lap and try and get it done. And that will put Kobayashi into the lead, I think, unless he also... But nope, he's still out there. And Max Simmons up to second place. Max will probably run quite late into this race. That has become his trademark, to run super, super late. And it does get him to the front, like, pretty consistently. He's always in the top 3 at some point in the race.
Well, it's all going to go wrong when Stoffmeal comes in with a steel chair.
It's Stoffmeal in a run-in. Oh, by God, he's got a steel chair and a table.
He put kendo sticks in everyone's tailpipes.
That probably actually wouldn't be nearly as big of a problem as you think, because I think the kendo sticks are probably very combustible and they would just burn up.
Well, yeah, you can't really get a good tight seal with a kendo stick. It's all bamboo. It's all individual little reeds and canes.
Yeah. Martin Edmonds overtaking some people. So Dan Bach may have been overtaken there in the pits by Martin Edmonds. I'm not sure. There was one of the black and orange cars in the pit lane, although it could have also been Marcelo Giordano. Sean Kenny looking to make a move here on Wayne Hutchison. We'll see if he can get it done. Heading towards turn 1. Liam Curtin, the GT leader, is in the pit lane there. And I think Kenny's got this. He does. Sean Kenny up to 8th place in the prototype race.
Well done, sir.
So it doesn't look like that was Bach in the pits. That looks like that was Giordano in the pits. So Edmonds, that early pit stop not paying off, because not only is he quite a ways behind the guys he's fighting with, DeRoche and Caleb, he is also behind Dan Bach now in the running order.
You will have to balk around the clock.
And we'll see where he comes out in relation to Simmons and Kobayashi when they make their pit stop. As Max Simmons has taken lead, so Kobayashi might be in the pits now. We'll see if that red circle turn, or that red square turns green here in a few seconds. Wayne Hutchison making his way through traffic. That is Tony Santa Clara, who now has the GT lead due to staying out longer than Liam Curtin. That is indeed Kobayashi in the pits, and James Butler leaving the pit lane in his Porsche. The only Porsche in the field, I think, today.
You think Santa Clara might be from Santa Monica?
Probably not. He is from Spain somewhere.
Well, that's fair.
I do not know where our Spanish drivers are actually from, outside of Xavier and Albert Arjona, who are from Catalonia.
Not from Andalusia.
No.
Fair enough.
So Max Simmons is the last prototype to pit. Where did Kobayashi come out? Kobayashi came out ahead of Edmonds, so the early pit stop has not really worked out for Martin. We'll see. And the problem is that his chances of making it work go down as the race goes longer, because, of course, his tires are more worn.
What you don't know is I swapped his tire formula with waffle batter.
That may actually work better for him.
Stiffens up over time.
So, ignoring Simmons for the moment, it is still Gonzalez leading from DeRoche. Bach is now up to 3rd. Kobayashi 4th. Simmons will probably come out in 5th place, I would imagine. We'll find out later. Then it is Edmonds, Giordano, Kenny, Hutchison, and Barker. And there's still a lot of pitting to do in the GT4 category with Perez, Torres, and the 3 Spaniards, Sergio Mengual, Zifo Duran, and Tony Santa Clara, all yet to pit. It's got to be weird that a North American-based league actually has the most populous flag on our grid is the Spanish flag.
That is interesting. Was it
It's a bit weird.
Was it a time zone thing, or what's going on?
I don't know. We made buddies with the Spanish-speaking Race Room Spain League, and that's where a lot of them come from. Although why the time zone seems to work for them so well, I couldn't honestly say.
Bunch of weirdos up in the middle of the night.
Could be. It's not exactly early for them. I want to say that at this point in the race, it's probably around midnight for them.
Mm-hmm.
And but we appreciate them nonetheless. And well, actually, Canada has the same number of flags. We have 4 Canadians and 4 Spaniards,
and 17 people from Mauritius.
We have none from Mauritius, but it's not terribly surprising. We have many countries represented in our grids, but Mauritius has, to my knowledge, never been one of them.
What about the great nation of Bhutan?
Nothing there. We don't have a lot of Asian drivers in general, actually. I want to say it's really like just Kobayashi.
There was another. I want to say
There was Tershin, who was from Hong Kong.
no. There was another. I'm pretty sure, like 6 months ago, didn't we have a different Japanese driver?
I'm pretty sure Kobayashi is actually our first Japanese driver, or at least our first in a long time.
Fair enough. No, there was because I remember he had a very North American first name, and we were questioning
Oh yeah, he wasn't actually Japanese though. He was just
that.
that was one of those not running under the right flag type deals. He was actually with the Spanish guys. He was Spanish, but he's running a Japanese flag. It was weird. But I don't remember his name now that you bring it up. But I do remember who you were.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I just like no, there was a guy. I remember the flag, and I remember being confused.
Sergio Mengual shuffles aside to let the battle for the lead continue. Well, the battle for the effective lead. The lead is currently still Max Simmons's, but he must pit or face a rather sizable penalty.
How is it bigger than a bread box?
It's bigger than a lap.
Well,
I want to say I want to say it's a 180-second penalty.
I mean, that seems fair.
Also, you're also paying the price in the fact that your tires are significantly bad by that point.
It's okay. The sparks just keep everybody off your tail.
Although Gonzalez is not actually catching up to him all that much, so Simmons is still putting up some decent pace, even with those 20 laps old tires. Keeping the gap to around 17 to 17 and a half seconds back to the battle for the effective lead.
Not the ineffective lead?
Well, there's the effective lead, and then there's the actual lead. The effective lead is who's really in first place, and then, Simmons just hasn't pitted. Somebody going down in the pit lane there. That looks like looks like Tony Santa Clara and Zifo Duran have dropped into the pit lane. We'll see if Mengual and Javier Perez Torres follow them, or if they take another lap. So Richard is again turning up the heat on Caleb here as they work their way through the midsection of the track here up to Canada Corner. Or actually, they'd already been through Canada Corner. My apologies. They are actually approaching the start-finish line. Liam Curtin up into second position. So Tony Santa Clara, by going long, has jumped into the GT4 lead. So congratulations to him. Either something has befallen Liam Curtin, possibly. Also, Zifo Duran, I saw him in the pit. There we go. Now he's got great. There we go. Interesting enough, Curtin and Santa Clara actually got out ahead of Mengual and Perez Torres. Or nope, Mengual's in the pits. That's why. That is him right there, and I imagine Javi is also in the pits.
I vote that we rename a very long straightaway Alabama Corner. For obvious reasons.
All right, so the last man to pit will be Max Simmons. He is the only one that has not cleared his mandatory pit stop. So I will give you a rundown of the GT category now that all the pits have been handled. Tony Santa Clara is your new leader, from Liam Curtin in second place. James Butler is up to third. Go James. Zifo Duran and Sergio Mengual, who you see here, are battling over fourth place. In sixth place is Michael Magus. In seventh is Perez Torres. And in eighth place, it is Luis Pajotto.
I believe you.
as Gonzalez continues to hang on against Richard DeRoche. Dan Bach is catching them. He's got the gap down to 4 seconds. This may become a 3-way fight here in the not too distant future.
Fight to the death. Loser gets kicked off the property.
I mean, everybody's getting kicked off the property once the show is over.
This is true.
Loser has to work a headlock for the entire show.
Oh, man.
Robert Lee style. in the middle of a contract on a tree match that you do not know what the contract is for. Rich DeRoche. Oh, that is Javier Perez-Torres getting a little bit out of shape as they come up to him. And side by side, Michael Magus up ahead with a disfigured looking front end.
Did you have a run-in with Dr. Sergio Mengele?
I had a run-in, to my great shame, with the wall at Canada Corner.
You headbutted part of Quebec?
I did. I got touched by Sergio Mangual while we were fighting for position. I felt very aggrieved at the time, but upon watching the replay, really the contact should not have been sufficient to send me into the wall. I just messed up my braking zone and ended up in the wall. That's all there is to it.
Y'all freaking out.
My knowledge of Canada did not help me with Canada Corner. Max Simmons, by the way, has been in the pit lane finally. We'll see where he rejoins. It appears like maybe in 6th place. So he's behind Martin Edmonds. I thought Edmonds would be behind him. But Max is going to have that fresh rubber, and he's going to try and put that to good use here for the last 16 minutes. Zifo Duran all over the back of Sergio Mengual. Battle for 4th place. Bit weird that these two came out so poorly on the pit stops, both getting jumped by James Butler. So good job by Butler's racing crew. The Porsche getting serviced in looks like one of the faster pit stops for the GT class.
Indeed. Oh man, I should have had some of the prison hooch available here. I just bottled up all the prison hooch yesterday.
DeRoche and Gonzalez having to actually weave their way through traffic there, and this has given DeRoche a massive run as they come up to James Butler. Are we going to get a Mika Hakkinen, Michael Schumacher 2000 moment here? And I think DeRoche took the lead. Richards in the lead.
Cha-cha.
He got it at Canada Corner.
Oh, Canada.
Well, we'll see. We will see, though, if Caleb is done. He is alongside here on the straightaway and will have the inside line into turn 1. Unless DeRoche can pull away. DeRoche is putting the pedal to the metal and has got the position, I think, secured, at least for the time being. But we still have 14 and a half minutes to go. Probably around 8 laps of the property.
Goodness gracious. I mean, it's a good thing we've got a Butler here on the property.
Dan Bach is now is within 2 seconds of this battle now. So the man who is really profiting off of Gonzalez versus DeRoche is Dan Bach, who is suddenly in the hunt. Be a hell of a comeback from 2 spins if Dan Bach were to pull this victory off. Sergio Mengual defends down the inside into turn 3. He does go a little bit wide, but so does the man he is fighting with, Zifo Duran. So he'll hang on to 4th place for now. Caleb getting wide. And there is Dan Bach coming. They may both be driving Wayne Taylor racing cars, but they are not teammates. This is every man for themselves. And Bach has got the pressure on, and this is the spot. This is not too far from Canada Corner where Gonzalez lost the lead of this race, but he will hang on to second for this time through Canada Corner. Kobayashi has lost a spot to Martin Edmonds, so I question Martin Edmonds' early pit stop strategy, and I may have been mistaken. I will freely admit that he appears to have Simmons in hand, and he is fighting hard with Kobayashi for fourth place. Although he did lose out to this man Dan Bach, but a lot of people are losing out to Dan Bach. So I think it has a lot more to do with Bach than anything Edmonds did.
These are true statements. Your boy DeRoche's got about a second and a half lead opened up here.
Indeed, he is on the charge. He wants that victory. It's been a while since we've seen Richard on the top step of the podium.
Well, I told him to take the stun gun with him, and so he's been throwing it at people.
And he's got a big helper, and that helper is Dan Bach, because Dan Bach is keeping Caleb from really being able to put the pedal to the metal, because he is at every opportunity attacking him.
As am I.
I've seen so little of the GTs battling today. It's been a very prototype kind of day. Edmonds had gotten back past Kobayashi, but there is Kobayashi going down the inside into turn 3 and retaking fourth place. So we got a great battle for second and a great battle for fourth right now. And here's the battle for second place between and for the heart of Wayne Taylor. It is Dan Bach putting the pressure on Caleb Gonzalez. He's got the inside line through Kettle Bottoms, but that turns into the outside line into Canada Corner. And for the time being, Caleb Gonzalez continues to hang on. It is Kobayashi getting the better of Edmonds at the moment. Dan Bach looking for a way through. Here they come up to the start-finish straight with a little under 11 minutes to go. He's looking to the inside. Will he tries to shove it down the inside of turn 1? He's got a really good run off this corner. This is the second time, to be honest, that I think Caleb's gotten a really bad run down that start-finish straight in like only a couple laps. And it is going to cost him second place to Dan Bach. And Edmonds has gotten back past Kobayashi. Wish we could have seen that. And now holds fourth position. Whoa, that was a bit of lag spike, I think.
They're just going so fast. Hey, James, you dirty bitch.
I think Zifo was kind of going wide there anyways.
I'm going to blame James anyway.
Butler has dropped back behind Mengual, though, so he's had a moment because he was looking pretty confident on that third step of the podium, and now suddenly we got a double Lotus podium with Liam Curtin and Sergio Mengual. Kobayashi down the inside of turn 3 again. That was not making the braking zone, and I think that decides that fight in the favor of Martin Edmonds.
He is currently Sergioing to the front.
In fact, Kobayashi losing a spot also to Max Simmons in that whole thing. We have seen Caleb Gonzalez show blinding speed in the past, but he has dropped back to third. This has been a very un-Caleb performance, I have to say.
He probably ran out of gas.
He would not be running if that were the case.
No, he's just that good.
He's that good that he can use his thoughts to power the car?
Harness the power of stuff.
Some kind of weird biomechanical energy?
It's actually got holes in the floor. He's running right now.
Oh, Flintstones power. Gotcha.
Yep. See, I don't even know why we need gas. You just put enough gerbils in each tire. They just keep running like hamsters on a wheel, right?
Terrible. Instead of horsepower, we need hamster power, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Or children. I mean, need bigger tires.
Oh, God. Dan Bach is now all over the back of Richard DeRoche. So Bach, who did not look that impressive in qualifying. I mean, he did start in the front row. He was definitely fast, but he is showing it right now. He is bringing it. He's gotten past Caleb Gonzalez, and now Richard DeRoche is next on his list.
Oh, Lord, he coming.
Olma come. Frog, I don't know how to tell you this without hurting you very deeply, but you happen to be white. I watched an episode of The Wire today. It's now stuck in my head. Oh, Dan Bach went off the track, and Caleb Gonzalez is back in his second place.
See, Caleb knew that was going to happen, so he wasn't sweating it too hard.
Bach is dropping way back, so there's got to be there's a serious problem. He's out of the race. Dan Bach is out of the race. He may have run out of gas.
It's possible. Or ran out of track space and went head on with the wall.
It didn't look like he was going into the wall from the last shot we got, but you could be right.
Or wife aggro.
Could be. Pet aggro? Kid aggro?
It's my it was my nickname in high school, Kid Aggro.
Did you just throw kids at people?
Pretty much.
I can see that being a thing. Of note, Liam Curtin is catching up to Tony Santa Clara, so we may have a showdown for the lead of the GT4 category as well. Although, throughout all this, Caleb is now only 1 second behind Richard, so I would not say that the battle for the prototype win is over just because Dan Bach has fallen out of it.
Dan Bach storms back onto the track with a steel chair.
Steel chair and thumbtacks.
Hell yeah. And each thumbtack is wrapped in barbed wire and on fire.
Oil slick. We gotta go like full on like combat racing style.
Fire the harpoon missiles.
I don't know what game had a harpoon. Is there a racing game that has a harpoon?
Oh yeah,
I think so.
There's gotta be.
It's gotta be, but I can't think of one.
Carmageddon.
Probably. Gotta get all the wacky racer stuff back in the day. I loved that game. It was a great game.
I was more of a Twisted Metal fan myself.
Oh, this is before Twisted Metal. Like Wacky Racers was a thing when I was about, I want to say like 4. So like 1990.
What with all the inflatable tube man and the racers and the wackiness?
No, it was just a bunch. It was an animal racing go-kart game basically. There was a moose, a tiger, a shark. Always raced as the shark. Always. I think there was a panda bear in there, and a camel. I think there was a camel. Tiger. Lion. Raccoon.
What about a numbat?
No numbat. No.
Whoa, racist against Australians.
There's nothing that had wings. Interestingly enough,
It'd be hilarious if they had a snake, and then years later you're like, wait, how did he push the pedals?
And there wasn't a snake. It was everything was like 4-legged mammal. I'm pretty sure, except for the shark. The shark was the only weird thing. Like what is it? What is there a shark doing here?
I don't know.
James Butler, Zifo Duran, battle for 4th place in the GT category does continue. Butler hanging on for the time being. Might not have been called Wacky Racers. When we finish the race, but before we end the commentary, I'm gonna figure out that game's name
My God,
and give it the glory that it deserves.
it was called Wacky Inflatable Arm Waving Two Man, the game.
I'm surprised that isn't a game, actually. Seriously.
Wacky Inflatable Arm Waving
Whoa,
Two
Richard
Man.
DeRoche getting held up by James Butler. The leaders are coming through this battle, and Durocher will maintain it because I think, to be honest, Mengual may have, or Duran, pardon me, may have cut off Gonzalez in the whole carnage, the whole chaos. So with a little over 3 minutes to go, there they go past Sergio Mengual, and the battle is on and will be going to the wire, I think, between Caleb Gonzalez and George. Gonzalez is shown as ahead. I would like it if the camera would go back to the battle for the lead, please. There we go. No, this isn't it. This is the battle between Kobayashi and Marcelo Giordano. Same cars, different drivers. All right, there we go. Caleb Gonzalez back into second place. So whatever lead he got there was temporary, and Richard is back in front.
Indeed.
Well, and then it's Martin Edmonds, and then Max Simmons. Sean Kinney just overtook somebody, it looks like. Was Kobayashi there for 6th place. So Kobayashi's race has kind of gone to poop here towards in the last, 5 laps. Maybe his tires are done. He was one of the late pitters, so one would think that he'd have rubber, but it is quite possible that he's just asked too much of the tires. Max Simmons is on the tail of Martin Edmonds. Now, this is interesting because Martin was the first one to pit. He has the oldest tires of anyone on the circuit. Max was the last one to pit and has the freshest tires of anyone on the circuit, as John Barker catches up to Wayne Hutchison and looks to make his way past into 8th place. Caleb Gonzalez on the charge. All right, so this will be the final lap for these two, and it is Durocher leading Gonzalez to turn 1. Can he hang on for the remaining minute, 55, 56, whatever this lap ends up being, to take his first victory in a while?
Maybe.
In the meantime, I was thinking there'd be a showdown between Curtin and Santa Clara because the gap was closing there for a bit. It's growing again, and Santa Clara appears to be stamping his authority on this particular battle as Max Simmons is looking for that podium down the inside of Martin Edmonds, and he got the job done. Max Simmons up onto the podium. In the Action Express car.
50 Action Express?
The leaders make their way through Liam Curtin there. Javier Perez Torres is on the tail of Michael Magus. Battle for 6th place. Pardon me. In the GT4. See that Magus's car has seen some better days. Javier looking to get a run through Kettle Bottoms. Can he make the pass happen? Or no, this is not Kettle Bottoms. This is the Marine Sweep. Looking to make a move. Magus shuts the door for the time being.
No victory for you. And then Javier just puts you in the wall.
Could be. In the meantime, it looks like Durocher is going to get the win, and he does. Richard Durocher wins at Road America.
Ha-cha-cha.
There are still battles going on, though. This battle for 4th place in the GT category, Zifo Duran trailing James Butler, looking to get that Porsche. And it is still a battle between John Barker and Wayne Hutchison. Actually, I think they're done the race. Judging by where they are on the track, they are done. And this is where I like ACC a little bit better than Race Room, because ACC, they put a little checkered flag next to the cars that have actually finished, so you get to avoid that embarrassment. No, it looks like they're still racing, so I don't know. This might still be for position. This doesn't seem like a cooldown lap, so they are battling, I think, still. But we do We do have a race winner, and it is Richard Roche.
I can confirm that there was a Wacky Races game released in 2000. Oh, it looks like 91 there was another one. Wacky Races with looks like it had a lot to do with old Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Nah, that was a TV show, and apparently a game, but that's not the one I'm talking about.
Well,
So
what if it is?
it wasn't Wacky Racers then. I got to find this out after this game comes to an end. Oh God, somebody is way off the track. Kobayashi, way off the track. That is the Kobayashi Maru for sure. John Barker trying to get the spot, and I think he did. He beats. No, Wayne Hutchison beats into the line. Caleb Gonzalez, by the way, ran out of gas, it looks like, right after the finish line. So congratulations to him.
Well done.
Richard DeRoche, Caleb Gonzalez, Max Simmons, Martin Edmonds, Marcelo Giordano, Wayne Hutchison, John Barker, and Kobayashi, Fumihiro Kobayashi, your finishing prototypes. Tony Santa Clara takes victory in the GT4 category ahead of Liam Curtin, Sergio Mangual, James Butler, Zifo Duran, Michael Magus, Javier Perez Torres, and Luis Pajotto. We lost Mauricio Delgado. I don't think I even saw the whole race. Guido de Palma, Dan Bach, Ryan Reed, and Bertrand Barrier all out of the race.
You figure out your video game stuff. I've got to go put bread in the oven. You kids have fun.
Alrighty. I am going to try and figure out what game this was. Because I am heavily interested now. List of video racing games from the 1990s, please. Platform. Windows. Because I'm pretty sure it was Windows. Windows, 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 Windows. There we are, Windows. By release date, probably actually will help me more. So looking for the early 90s here. May also find some interesting races that you guys might actually want to test out. Obviously, if you have no interest in finding out what game this was, please head off and enjoy your day. But I am determined to find the answer here to this question. I will find the answer. Oh, Michael Andretti's World GP. I am slightly interested in that. Also known as Satoru Nakajima, F1 hero. Satoru Nakajima is not a hero unless you live in Japan. I'm just going to say that right now. That is definitely not F1 Grand Prix Satoru Nakajima Satoru. Apparently Japan did a lot of games based on Nakajima, which is interesting. Nigel Mansell's World Championship Racing. I'm kind of intrigued by what that was. I've kind of gone a little bit too far here now, though, which makes me wonder if I've completely missed the game, unfortunately. Because I'm in like 93 now, which I'm pretty sure was after the time period I'm talking about. But I could be wrong. Oh, hang on. Nope, that's not it. There it is, Wacky Wheels. That was the game. That was the game. And apparently, actually, it was a DOS game. Apparently, in 2014, they were trying to. It was released on Steam and in fall 2006. Hang on, I'm gonna see how much that costs. I was right on the wacky part at least. Wacky Wheels is currently available for $5.49. I might get this just because. Oh, there was a duck. So there was a bird. There was a duck. There we go. So I may do this. The characters were Tiggy the Tiger, Razor the Shark, Uno the Panda, Morris the Moose, Sultan the Cambo, Blumbo the Elephant, Peggles the Duck, and Ringo the Raccoon. There we go. You have found the answer to my childhood, the first racing game of my childhood. There you go. Enjoy it. If you want to find it, it is on Steam under Wacky Wheels.